How to silently outsmart everyone without stress. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy for Life, where silence builds strength, discipline shapes destiny, and wisdom leads the way. There is a kind of power that makes no sound. It doesn't shout. It doesn't prove. It doesn't chase. It simply observes, calculates, and wins. The most dangerous man in any room is not the one speaking. It is the one listening. Not the man explaining himself, but the one quietly mastering himself. We live in a world obsessed with reaction, where people overshare, overtalk, over-explain. But we follow a different way. We follow the way of Stoic philosophy. We do not chase control over others. We pursue mastery over self. We do not rise by overpowering. We rise by outlasting. And to do so, we follow 5 ancient disciplines, practices that allow us to outthink the chaos, not by noise, but by silence. Let us begin. Master your emotions, or be owned by them. If someone provokes you, remember that it is your own judgment that is provoking you. Epictetus. The first rule of silent power is to break your addiction to reaction. When someone insults you, you do nothing. When someone disrespects you, you do nothing. When someone misunderstands you, you do nothing. Not because you're weak, but because you are in full command of yourself. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The disciplined mind delays every explosion. It pauses when pride wants to shout. It watches when ego wants to speak. Why? Because every ounce of energy you don't waste on emotion is stored for when it matters. Your silence is not weakness, it's strategy. Your calm is not passivity, it's precision. The undisciplined burn out in minutes. You conserve. You calculate. You win in decades. Stop seeking approval, and you control the game. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus, you cannot outsmart the world while begging for its applause. The moment you seek approval, you surrender control. The truly powerful man does not need validation. He does not explain his path. He does not justify his decisions. He builds quietly. Let them mock you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You remain silent, because you know something they don't. A man who needs nothing cannot be manipulated, and a man who is invisible to the games of others always wins. We do not speak to impress. We act to be remembered. We let our silence become a wall, our clarity a weapon, our presence enough. Delay reaction. Time is the ultimate advantage. No man was ever wise by chance. Seneca. The impatient always lose. They speak too soon. They act too fast. They rush into decisions without strategy. But you wait, you pause, you listen, you delay. Because every delay is an advantage. Every silence is a calculation. Time exposes what emotion conceals. When you wait, others show their hand. They reveal their fear, their intent, their weakness. You gain the one thing that cannot be faked: clarity. The Stoic is never rushed. He does not chase immediate control. He prepares long-term victory. He acts not in seconds, but in seasons, and when he moves, the result is undeniable. Observe everything, reveal nothing. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The world wastes itself in constant explanation, in emotional outbursts, in desperate attempts to be seen, known, understood. We do the opposite. We observe. We watch every pattern, every mistake, every motive, not to judge, but to understand. Because information is the most powerful weapon, and silence is its sheath. You gain power by what you withhold. You protect power by what you don't say. We do not share our next move. We do not clarify our every choice. We let results speak. In a world full of noise, silence becomes mysterious, and mystery becomes influence. Let others scream. You stay quiet, and let your impact be felt, not heard. Win internally first, the outer victory will follow. What is the use of being feared by others if you are still a slave to your own mind? Clean this. Most people seek outward dominance. They want status, control, recognition. But if you're not free inside, you are fine. You are still a prisoner. The Stoic reverses the order. We don't start with external wins. We begin with the only victory that matters: mastery of self. The mind that does not flinch in suffering. The heart that remains steady in betrayal. The soul that stays silent in chaos. This is the true definition of power. You may lose the money. You may lose the battle. You may lose the relationship. But if you do not lose yourself, you've lost nothing. The Stoic wins from within, and that victory cannot be taken. This is how you outsmart the world. Quietly, completely. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to overpower. You don't need to be louder. You only need 5 things. Master your emotions. Kill the need for validation. Use time as a shield. Listen more than you speak. Win where it matters most. Inside. These are not tricks. They are disciplines. This is not performance. It is character. This is the way of Stoic philosophy. And in a world obsessed with ego, it makes you invisible to manipulation, untouchable by chaos, undefeated by noise. Final words. Build in silence. Let your discipline speak. Let them underestimate you. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. You don't need to prove them wrong. You need only to remain still. Because a man who walks with discipline, who thinks with clarity, who speaks with precision, he will outlast everyone shouting. So build quietly, watch patiently, move rarely, and when you strike, let it be clean, calm, and final. That is how you outsmart the world, without stress, without noise, without compromise. Subscribe to Stoic philosophy for life, not for motivation, but for transformation. Not to react, but to rise. Not for recognition, but for quiet mastery. Because in this world, those who speak the least often end up saying the most. And in your silence, they'll never see it coming.